And we should be live now.
Awesome.
Are we live?
I think so.
So, learned something about the beard recently, is if you just trim down to your Adam's apple, it thickens all this up.
It really does.
Yep.
I had no idea, because I was wondering, like, because I hate when it get long and all wispy.
Yeah.
Now it looks nice and full.
Got some good length.
Get some bush to it.
Okay. Guys,
I don't know how much longer I'm going to hold on to it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting too warm.
It's not warm. Just, I don't know. I think it may be cathartic to shave it off.
Mm.
You just need that moment of just like,
Feels so good.
Well, no, it just shave it off, just like shedding the skin and preparing to be a new form.
Your spring rebirth.
It's time to become the summer me.
A beautiful butterfly.
This isn't even my final form.
I haven't hit phase 3 yet.
Oh, God.
It's number Wang.
Oh, I should probably close everything on my computer.
I just went through and hacked down a whole bunch of processes going on that I didn't even start.
Dirty
Oh my
crap.
God! Has anybody go see the Raid 2?
No.
Oh. Oh.
Is it good?
Alright.
I
I
don't
was
even have
so
Raptor installed anymore.
I was so jacked after watching that movie that I literally came home and started breaking down boxes because I needed to destroy something. I have never left the theater that amped. I was air punching my way out.
Just wanted to kick fight people.
I was in such a daze. I had to go to the bathroom. I walked into the women's bathroom and didn't realize I did it till some lady tapped me on the shoulder walking into a stall.
Great.
True story. It totally happened. Big black lady. Hey, honey? No, this is not right. No. And I was like, wait, what? Sorry.
Sorry, ladies.
But holy shit. That movie, holy shit. I didn't think they'd be able to top the violence in the first one. Out of anything I've ever seen in my entire life, this doubled the watermark of the most violent thing I've ever seen.
Really?
Nothing has been even close.
P-Flux said Knobs loved Raid 2 so much he shouted out Hadouken and actually threw a fireball.
Yeah. No, I did those spinny wheel kick. Hadouken!
Kicked a cardboard box.
Which I think some dude did that in the movie, but no, not really. I mean, the fight scenes are so well choreographed, and like everything seems like a long shot. Like, I mean, there's a scene where it doesn't look like there's a cut for probably 2.5 minutes in a fight scene.
Wow.
That's forever.
Yeah.
Like, it's... unless there's some editing miracle workers, these dudes... oh, man. The amount of dudes that get just annihilated in this movie is just insane. Like, I thought the first one, the hallway scene, was intense. You know, like that scene in Old Boy where he takes on those dudes with a hammer and that real tight shot? They did essentially replicated that in a bathroom stall.
Jeez.
Ooh.
I'll have to check that
Amazing.
out.
And that was the first fight scene in the movie.
Great.
And it's just nothing. Like, you expect, like, at what point is this going to come down the hill? It never did.
Man.
Not even the last shot. And I guess they're already in the works for the third one, so I don't know how they can even do a third one, but...
Excited to find out.
This dude made a cameo from the first one I never thought we were going to see again, so...
Didn't even know there was a first one.
The Raid Redemption, it's not on anything streaming. It's well worth the $16 on Blu-ray.
Fair enough.
Actually, I think it is on Netflix now, but it's the English dub. It's not the original. I hear the English dub is really bad.
I might have to watch the English dub because I went out and bought it just out of curiosity. It sat on my shelf for like a month, and before I was like, I'll give it a shot. To the point where I was like, why haven't I watched this?
What's wrong with me?
So apparently the world isn't full of shit.
Yeah.
But this movie is amazing.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
It's dude. Dude.
Oh.
All right, you gents ready to start doing this biz?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, girl.
Hey, podcast. All right,
Hey,
starting
TV.
in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I am your host, Boston. Going around the horn, we got Judo Chopping Knobs.
Hello, everybody.
And we have non-judo chopping the Hannah.
Hi.
Let's go. Alright, the only announcement I have at the beginning is I went crazy and I made a 24-hour E1M1 radio station. E1M1 FM. You can check it out at mixlr.com/E1M1FM. It's MIXLR. It's got all of the shows that I've ever done, and I'm adding the back catalog of TVGP as we go. So right now it has about 20 TVGP episodes starting at like 260 something, and all dynamic soundtrack and all pop, and it's all random. So go there and check out some old biz. Check out some recent biz.
Skip over the releases.
Yeah. Well, you know, you can't skip. It just goes.
Well,
Right now I think I have something like 100 hours continuous in there. So
Wow.
wow.
That's not even scratching the surface.
no, I have a lot of TVGP to put in there. So
Have we ever added up how much content we've actually put out?
I will as soon as I get all of it up on this Amazon EC2 server that is streaming E1M1
Nice.
FM.
You should put the spoiler casts in there just to mess with people.
No, that's the only thing I'm not putting in there, is spoiler casts. Because I figured that'd be a
Yeah.
little mean.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's
the
not like
ending
we've
of this
done-
game is
we've done
pretty
one in a
cool.
while.
Everyone dies. See you later.
I wish, you know, we should do a spoiler cast that's that short. And everyone's like, I don't understand what's so... Oh.
Oh.
Oh, this should have been our April Fool's gag.
Yeah. Crap.
Maybe next year.
Anywho, so go check that out. Mixlr.com/E1M1FM. Check out some old biz. Alright, let's get into knobs. What have you been playing?
Hey.
Oh,
The spring drought continues.
Yeah.
We had some Monday night game night. We played some Assassin's Creed Brotherhood 2 this past week, and boy, did we have fun.
Mm.
And I am just right awful at that game. Like, I remember being significantly better, and I'm just really bad. Like, I think I'm being sneaky, and apparently I'm not.
So it's,
Like,
it's
even
not
if-
really like riding a bike.
No, actually, you know what? I did have a good moment where I was super sneaky. Like, I did the thing where you morph everyone around you,
Mhm.
and I hid in a hay bale, and I proceeded to watch everybody hunting me, just killing everyone else around me, to the point where they're all running around. I think Scott was hanging out on the bench on the other side watching the melee happen.
Awesome.
And we're just sitting like two of us are in the same spot with all the other, the morph dudes, and they're just slaughtering everybody. And it took them. I don't think I got killed that time. So I think I was in the hay bale for the entire round. Wow. It's the only time I think I've survived the entire time without dying as the hiders.
Huh.
Ooh.
Hunter, I'm just awful. Like,
It's just not my bag.
I think I'm picking the right guy to hit, and I will pick someone who doesn't even look like the person I'm hunting. I'm like, I don't know what wrong. Just all right, go ahead, clap my ears and run away because that's what I'm worth. Here's your 100 points. Thank you for coming out.
Huh.
Like it's It's I don't know. It's frustrating to say the least.
Yeah.
But I still enjoy running around in that game because it is crazy fun. I think we finally got Donnie in, and he just like, what? Why are people on the roof? This is bananas. Like it's. I was like, yes, this is why we need you to get the practice and enjoy this game because it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Which I actually think he would enjoy the main game itself because of all the historical things loosely based on stuff.
Yeah.
I think he'd really enjoy it, but neither here nor there. We got a new person on the 1 ranks for us. We ended up having Scott got an Xbox One and with Titanfall, so we played a whole bunch of Titanfall this week.
Congratulations.
Indeed.
Yeah, so we played a ton of that, and I can't kill anybody anymore. Like, I came back in as I forgot, like, the last weapon I was using was this SMG, the car SMG or whatever it's called. I couldn't kill a thing with it. I don't know if I can kill a fly at this point with this gun. So I went back with the ad hoc or whatever, the hard, it's something with an H, whatever. It's like the 5-burst shotgun, which I was pretty good with, but now I'm an awful shot at this game. I think Battlefield ruined it.
Uh-oh.
Well, no, and I think because like I have gotten so used to that specific speed and play style, like I completely adapted to it, and then throwing myself back into this, which was weird because when I went back to Battlefield, I was significantly better. Like
weird.
I don't understand it. Like the literally the game I played after we played a couple hours of Titanfall, I literally had the game of my life in Battlefield. Like, I was 30-10, and I was just walking death.
Jeez.
Like anything I hit was just bop, headshot, bop, headshot. Like, it was awesome. And then reality came back, and I suck again.
But you're having fun.
But no, and the one thing I do enjoy the most with Titanfall is the Titans are just amazing. And I think that game is sorely desperate for new content at this point.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, has that DLC come out yet?
Not that I know of.
I feel like the game probably would have been pushing the DLC pretty hard if it had come out already.
Yeah.
But I do feel, I mean, it does feel like, man, you know, I played a lot of this before, and I've only played 17 hours of it. I haven't seen anything new in a while. Type of situation, and I think that game needs to have a little more aggressive DLC chain than anything else, because it is a multiplayer only game, and there's really nothing pulling you back into it other than playing with your friends.
Yeah.
Before I talk about the inevitable, I played a whole bunch more Fez today.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I am hooked finding golden blocks.
Yes. Get all those cube bits.
I played a little bit of that today to sort of wind down from something else I played today, and it sort of hit me a little better today. I was like, oh, okay, I can just hop back in at this at any moment. And oh, look, there's a little golden cube. I can just, oh, look, I got 8 of them. Cool, I'm going to put this down now.
Yes, play more Fez. Yeah.
It is. That game just, you know, it blows my mind that a game that looks that simple can look that amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the little things that they do right with the deteriorating walkways, like as you jump up and they deteriorate, and then it turns to space and then it blocks itself back in.
Yeah.
It's so much subtle stuff, like the warp zones or whatever they're called, the warp windows.
Yeah.
Look amazing.
Yep.
Like the effect they did for that, and it's just this little 8-bit sprite game that just amazing.
There's one thing that looks like that you'll run into after you get 16 cubes.
Yeah.
That just every time I run into it is astounding looking.
Well, even the doorways going further back into the level is one of my favorite effects that I've ever seen.
And that was one of the bad parts about the original 360 release, is that transition when you go through the door and you're kind of zooming back to the next layer of levels, that would stutter. So you kind of go in and you're just sort of like, ugh, God, like this could be this could be so cool looking, just this smooth, like you opened this door and you walk in, and they time it so perfectly. And I agree with you, that's one of my favorite things about Fez is they time it so perfectly that you get that door swinging motion, and as soon as he disappears into the door, it's zooming back, and as soon as it hits that next plane, he's walking out of the door towards you.
Yeah, like, you just kind of hear that whoa, like as you just kind of. The sound design's amazing too. Like just all the little chirps and the beeps and boops and whatever's going on.
Well, I love all
everything fits.
I love all the animals in each environment too. Like in the background, there's a cat that's chasing a butterfly. You know, like why? I don't know. They went there and they did it. You know, I'm very curious. I'm still really curious, and I haven't spent enough time with Fez on the Vita to figure out how they do one type of puzzle. There's only like 4 or 5 instances, and I know you guys haven't run into it yet. And I'm really curious how to do it, because in the console and PC versions, it's dependent on vibration.
Oh,
and I don't know how they do it on the Vita. I'm very curious.
I did run into a QR code for the first time.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I was like, I looked crazy because I had my Vita in one hand, phone in the other, and I'm like trying to line it up so that it would actually scan it.
Yeah. Have you guys gotten any of the other type of cubes? I don't want to spoil anything.
The anti-cubes?
Yeah.
Have not.
Okay.
Really? I found one real quick.
This is literally the first time I've played it all week. Like, I picked it up for 20 minutes because I was really angry at another game.
So the thing that I can suggest for everybody is look at the achievements, and you can get one of those very easily.
Nice. Good to know.
Yeah.
I was really surprised. Like that puzzle, the first anti-cube puzzle, like was driving me insane.
Which one? Which one did you first run into?
It was the one with the L piece and the T piece.
Yeah, on the two sides of the. Yep.
Yeah,
that one's tough.
Well, I mean, that like I'm sitting there. I was like, oh, okay, all right. So it's all lined up, and I didn't know exactly. I had to line them up top, and then I was like playing with buttons. I was like, oh, I can pick them up and throw them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that makes things a little easier.
So
and then I'm like, I line it up, turn it, and it'd be misaligned. I'm like, God, come on.
It's one of those things where you're like, all right, I got it. And you do whoop, and you're like, oh. So the one thing they don't tell you, even in the how to play, and tip for everyone that I actually just learned recently, is if you hit down and hit to drop the block, it'll drop right where you are.
Yep.
So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just figured that one out the hard way after I threw the block in the water a couple times.
Yeah, and you're just like, great.
You're like, that
the last thing I wanted to do.
But yeah, it was like assembling the blocks is extremely satisfying.
Yeah.
I mean, like I played it for maybe 2 hours today, and I think I have 7 blocks assembled.
7 cubes.
Like, yeah, 7 cubes and 1 anti-cube.
Okay.
Like,
nice.
I've been going
progress.
Yeah.
I can't. I see it. I'm like, you see that? I love the little marker it does. Like, there's another little effect.
Just like that.
Like, if there's a goal, the little radius of the square, just like, okay, it's around the corner here.
Well, and it makes that noise where you're like, wait, there's another one in here. Where is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I put together my 6th cube today.
Nice.
So.
Guys are almost ready to open the 8 cube door.
Yeah.
I haven't opened the 4 cube door yet.
Oh, okay. Wow. I think it's the 8 cube door that's one of my favorite areas in the game. It's very small, but there's something about it I like.
I do really like the forest. When I got into that one tree, it looked like a little tree house, and you get into the tree, and then like the lighting effects with the little pixels, and like it's a little shaded with rays of light coming in. It just looks amazing.
I feel like that's one of the hard things to explain about Fez, where people are like, yeah, it's just pixel art. But it's like, no, it's voxels, and I never really understood the difference between them until I played Fez, and kind of how much you can do with them.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I'm so happy you guys are
amazing.
enjoying that game.
Yeah.
I'm kind of upset with myself I'm kind of upset with myself that I didn't really jump into it earlier.
Yeah, but at least no one spoiled it for you.
Yeah, that's true.
Good point. Very good job there, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's on you.
I know it's probably killing you,
It
but
really is. I want to talk about so much stuff. There's so much in that game.
Yeah.
And I can't even... never mind. I can't even spoil. Just get 16 cubes, for the love of God. And then we can start talking about stuff.
Excellent.
yeah, I'm really excited. So, and that's something that's like because after it melted my brain twice, I was like, all right, today I threw on some movies on Vudu, and I just kind of sat there. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play some Fez, and I just went through it. I was like, I didn't even know what movie I put on at this point. I'm just like, what? Blah. Blocks. It's just
You know, the one thing too that I forgot about that game is I absolutely love that soundtrack, and it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
By Disaster Piece, and he does fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
I forgot how much each area's song builds as you go deeper and deeper into the background. So like more instruments and more effects get added, the more doors you go through, so that by the time you've gotten to the deepest, it's kind of this full song.
Nice.
God, that game's so good.
it's really
I just want
cool.
to go play it again now.
Almost had impulse buy today. Almost had impulse buy today that I almost picked up Strider, and I'm just like, I gotta finish something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't even... I have
Strider's
that on
good,
PS4,
though.
and I haven't picked it up yet. I haven't started it yet.
Like, I was like right over top of it. I'm like, nah.
Just
No,
finish Fez first.
but instead of making a $15 impulse purchase, I made a $50 one.
There you go.
That sounds right.
That's more like the knobs I know.
Yeah, so I am a premium member of Battlefield 4,
Congratulations.
Oh.
which I have a ton of battle packs that unlocked, like, initially.
Yeah.
I guess it's something they do every month. They have a new unlock, like a gold box, like every month,
Oh, that's
along
kinda
with
nice.
all the other DLC and stuff, and other perk bonuses to be named later. So it's, it's just more content. Now I don't have to worry about buying any more DLC packs unless I want to, accelerate something.
Yeah.
Finally, the sniper rifle is starting to click with me. That I finally understand how to accurately gauge distance on a shot to compensate for bullet fall. And man, I have gotten a lot better at sniping. That game's just fun. Like I can't say it's frustrating fun, because there are rounds where you just cannot do anything right and you continuously spawn into death. Is the hardest thing, and like, because when you spawn onto somebody, usually you're so anxious to get back into the fight that that gives you a warning that, hey, this dude's under duress, you might not want to spawn here.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Like, I can't tell you how many times I spawn behind Donnie and I get a shotgun in the back. I'm just like, oh. And man, these dudes are really good in helicopters. Like,
That's always
I
so
think-
surprising to me, is just how many like amateur helicopter fighters there are in Battlefield.
it's unreal. But mostly since Donnie's been sick most of the week, I've been pretty much playing with the general public. So I literally had a kid yelling at his Xbox to stop listening to him for an hour.
Great.
Uh,
I love you, Xbox Live.
Oh, it was
Never
priceless.
change.
But then in the middle of that fight, because I just put on the headset because just in case they say something useful, I wouldn't mind hearing it.
In the rare case.
Yeah.
But this other dude hopped into the match. I can't remember his gamer tag. I probably should have. But he's like, it suddenly comes as like, is anybody in here communicating? And so I unmuted my mic. I was like, yeah, no problem, man. But this dude's been yelling at his Xbox for literally 20 minutes. He's like, oh, seriously, another one of those? So me and this one dude, we're sitting there, we're calling out points, and we're the guys. And this was like one of the best rounds I've ever had. Like, I was like 29 kills or something and like 8
Nice.
deaths.
Wow.
But we're sitting here cleaning house, and this dude is seriously Xbox this, Xbox that, Xbox this, Xbox change things. So like, so the point where I just started yelling out Xbox blah blah blah, blah expletive on them.
Xbox
And,
sign
like,
out.
just no, like yeah, everything I could think of, and it's had this kid in stitches, but just being like, hey, Xbox, go to AD friend finder, come on, like just awful things that are just coming out of my mouth at this point, just having a blast. But today was one of the worst days I've ever had when in an Xbox Live, not party thing, but like it was probably this dude playing with his son, and this kid did nothing but complain about his controller being broken.
Oh, of course.
It just listen to this poor man take this child's abuse over the Kinect was just frustrating to listen to.
It's one of those things where, like, they forget that Kinect is also a microphone.
Yeah.
Well, it was like that nonstop, and you know the guy's telling him, like, dude, calm down, whatever your name is, change the batteries. The A button doesn't work. The bumpers don't work. The sticks don't work. And you need to buy me a new controller.
And you're just
This
like,
is
I hate this
torture.
world.
And I'm like, oh, you brat. Oh,
You petulant thing, you.
Yeah.
you understand how amazing this thing is that your dad thought to let you play would be cool. Not only do you sound like you're not old enough to play this game, and then I'm sitting there like this train of thoughts going in my head like, oh my god, am I turning into this guy?
I was just about to say, like congratulations for being old.
Yeah.
TVGP episode 340, write it down.
Like, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I look back at the things we were playing, and as being older, I don't know if I'd have been that okay with it.
Like, how old do you think this kid was? Like 10?
Yeah.
Something like that. So for 10...
We were Doom
still
and...
playing, yeah, some of that. Duke 3D.
Like, Duke 3D, and that's when Blood and...
Rise of the Triad.
Rise of the Triad
Which
came
no
out.
human should play under the age of 50.
Like it's like that. Like I had that weird moment where I'm like, I gotta switch squads because this is gonna drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did, and then I had a couple better rounds, and things were nice. Unlocked the new sniper rifle, which now apparently I can't hit a broadside of a barn with.
There you go.
Oh, so I'm back to square one again. It always seems like you get it, you go up, but you go back 5 paces. You go up and you go back again.
Yeah.
Like just trying to get the attachments to get everything to unlock to make the gun it's the way it's supposed to be. But I'm playing a ton of it, and I'm enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie, and it's all because of that dedicated marksman rifle, the DMR. That gun is just, I love it. I love it. Like the one that I love is the second to highest one. It's the Ace. I should know the name of it 'cause it's all I use. But it's the one that says Ace on it, and it's a nail driver. Like I love games that are or guns that are accurate, and this one is pinpoint. But I'm having fun, so it's a good thing, and that's why I spent another $50 on the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure that was it this week.
All right, Hannah.
Yep.
Sweet.
What about you?
Oh, I played so much Hearthstone. I played so much Hearthstone that I pretty much forgot to play anything else, almost.
There you go.
Until today.
Almost. Until you played Fez.
Yeah. Well, and one other game, which I'll get into in a moment. So, seriously, if you're not playing Hearthstone, you should be, because it's all I can play.
And it's free.
It's free.
Can't go wrong.
And it's insane. And if you just play long enough, eventually you can do an arena run. And man, when those go well, they go well. And when those go bad, they go real bad.
Yeah, there's some of them where it's like, oh, I'm going to throw down my $2. Oh, I just very quickly went 0-3. Okay.
Yeah, that happened. So I did 2 arena runs this week. First time I went with Mage and actually built a really solid direct damage deck. Basically a burn deck.
So before we get into it real quick, for people that haven't played Hearthstone, the arena is really cool. I don't know if we've actually explained it, but you go into the arena and you pay either $2 real world money, which is reasonable, or I think it's like 150 gold.
Yep.
And you get in it. It's all about randomization. So they give you 3 characters. You pick one of them, and you don't get to say like, I don't like those 3. You have to pick one of them, and then create a deck. So a deck is 30 cards like normal, and they just show you 3 cards at a time, and they could be really great cards, or they could be a whole deck that's full of things that just don't work. But you at least know the people you're fighting against have the same restrictions.
For sure. And sometimes you get a really good, prime example of this, I didn't realize it at first, but so the normal deck construction for just normal play mode, you are capped at 2 cards of any specific type for most cards. That doesn't seem to be the case in the arena.
No, which is good and bad.
Yeah. So, normally when you're playing play mode, you can go in and be like, okay, I'm up against a rogue. And one of the big rogue cards is Assassinate. You don't want to play your big hefty creatures or minions out until you know they've burned their Assassinates.
Yeah.
So because you're gonna throw down a minion and they're gonna be like, huh, that's cute, bye.
Yep. And it's not even one of the things where they return it to your deck; they just kill it.
Yeah, it just disappears. It's gone.
Yeah.
Or in most cases, if you're facing a hunter and they have Unleash the Hounds.
Yeah.
Which if you have basically Unleash the Hounds when you play it, however many minions you have, the hunter that plays Unleash the Hounds gets that many 1/1 hounds with charge that allows them to basically, if you got 4 minions, they get 4 1/1 creatures that can attack immediately.
Yeah, it's pretty devastating.
There's some pretty wicked combos out there too. And I use them in my hunter deck because I'm a jerk.
Yeah.
So playing this mage deck that I built, I think I got 3 wins out of it. I felt fairly confident on that. And then I think the day after that, I was like, I've got enough gold here. I've been doing quests and stuff. I'll throw down to another arena run, and I built probably the worst druid deck that's ever happened. It was the saddest thing ever because I just kept getting like, I don't have the problem with building a deck randomly is like, oh, your first couple of cards you're getting a Murloc and like a Corsair, like they're 2 sort of
and something that
weird
increases like
types.
spell power, and you're like, great, I don't even know if I need that.
Yeah. And you don't want to risk taking the Murloc because you don't know if you're going to get more Murlocs because they only really work well together.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, well, let's take this. I'll take a couple, direct damage spells. I didn't win a single game.
Yeah.
It was pathetic.
Yeah, I think the only other thing we forgot to mention about the arena is it only ends after you've gotten 3 losses. So you can go like 10-3, and then you get, and the more wins you get, the better loot you get.
Yeah. So if you get like 3 wins, like I did with the mage deck, you'll get like 40 gold and like a pack of cards and then like a specialty card.
Yeah.
You'll get like a rare or like an epic card. And just, I can't get enough of that game.
Yeah.
At all. It's getting bad. I need a detox. This is a prime example of why I can never ever go back to World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
because I'll disappear as a human being. You guys will be like, "Hey, you coming on the podcast?" Be like, "I'm in a raid. You guys need to leave me alone."
Yeah, the Patrick Klepek from Giant Bomb. He started playing Hearthstone, and he got the mount in WoW for winning 3 matches.
I got that too.
And the thing says, go log in your World of Warcraft account to redeem your mount, and all he put was, no thank you, I will not do that. And it's like, that's how I feel on some of this, where, especially like every time I buy a Diablo or StarCraft Collector's Edition, where it's like, hey man, now you got a new mount and you got a new pet and WoW, and I was like, great, I will never see that. I have this little picture on this piece of cardboard you send me. That's as much as I'm going to see.
Yeah, man. But if you're not playing Hearthstone, you should be, and that's all I'm going to say about that, because if I talk anymore, I'll just disappear and go play it.
I'll just start playing it.
So, as I mentioned earlier, I did play some Fez to sort of bring me down from another game I was playing today, which was this month's TVGP Game Club,
Mm.
which is The Witcher, which can go do a lot of terrible things to itself right now. Um,
So you're really,
so,
really enjoying it.
you know what? And once it's just one specific part, and it's. Let me get into it.
Okay,
So
take a breath.
I load it up and I'm like, okay, I'm about three-quarters of the way through all the quests in this area. It's the first area before you get into the first major city. And I'm like, all right, I know what I need to do. I need to go, take care of a couple side quests. I need to take care of a couple of, more main quests. And then there's this big long sequence once you trigger a certain section of quests. And it's basically a roller coaster that doesn't stop.
Okay.
So you go talk to Abigail, one of the characters in the game, and it sort of sets off this chain of events where you have to sort of defend her from the rest of the town because they think she's a witch, which she is, but she's not the evil kind. It's a very she's a witch, but it's not a big deal. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
It's like you're defending her from these religious fanatics that are like, she made me do terrible things that I was going to do anyway.
Yeah. Or witches.
Oh, you.
And you can sort of side with the villagers, or you can side with her. And it's that gray morality of The Witcher, which I do actually really enjoy. But if you side with her, you have to go fight the boss of this area, which is a giant demon hound.
Okay.
As just you and with her.
Okay.
Now, you start fighting this thing, and it summons 4 or 5 sort of lesser demon hounds.
Okay. Demon pups.
And yes, and you do have a fight style to take care of this. The problem is, you don't get aggro immediately. She does. And if you don't act quick enough, and you really can't, because it just sort of starts, and you have to get your sword out, and you have to switch to the right sign, and by the time you do that, she's dead.
Great.
Unless you pause it quick enough. Well, so I'm going through this,
awesome.
and I'm like, well, I don't want her to die, so I'm just going to reload. Well, when you reload, you start back at the last save file, and it's like you have to skip through this 5-10 minute conversation if you go normal speed, and make all these decisions in the conversation trees, and you have to make them right, and then you have to skip the cutscene, and then you have to wait for it to load up, and then you die again, and then you have to do that multiple times. So I do all of this, and I finally get to a point where I'm just broken, and my keyboard is almost broken.
Where it has broken my soul.
And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to finish the fight. I'm just going to get to the end of it just to see that I can do it.
Just see what happens.
The minute I finish the fight with the hounds, the villagers attack.
Oh, well. Even better.
Because they're jerks. So I kill all the villagers.
Why not? Scorched earth.
She gets up.
Oh.
She's not dead. It just looked and
She
sounded
just fainted.
exactly like she was dead. She just pops back up and is like, yeah, what's up?
Hey, that's what's going on. Oh, I passed out for a
And
minute.
I literally wasted 45 minutes to an hour on this. It was unbelievable. And I just kind of looked at it and I was just kind of like, what? How?
Who?
What?
Kind of monsters
Why are you
are
doing this to me? You could at least put her health bar around her feet like all the other characters have.
Yeah.
So that I can tell, oh look, she still has a little, it's still green. She's just knocked out. No indication whatsoever that she wasn't completely dead and it wasn't gonna affect the story in some way.
That's my second least favorite thing in RPGs. My first least favorite is the fight you're not supposed to win.
Yes.
Because you're always sort of like, man, I'm just going to back out of this and grind a little bit. And then you go back in, you're like, I feel like I can win this, but I just can't. Or the fight that you're not supposed to win, but you're actually supposed to, you just suck. And it's just like, oh, he
Yeah.
killed me in one shot. Okay. Oh, game over. That's funny. Oh, wait, I have to load my... What? Oh, no.
I saved how long ago?
Also known as Lost Odyssey, the game. We're just like, oh, man, all right, first boss. We're going to... Oh, I'm dead. Oh, that wasn't a joke. Holy crap.
That griffin was serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
But I have not been this angry. I was spitting mad at this game for a solid 45 minutes, like just slamming my desk, ready to just snap this keyboard in half because I got 2 in the closet.
Just bite it.
Yeah, just bite the keyboard. Get diseases. All right.
And how dirty could your keyboard be? Where's it been?
Well, you know. That's why he's got 2 more in the
touching
closet.
strange fingers.
This is the worst show.
So I proceed with the game, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this now. This game gets really good at this point. But you have to slog through the garbage that is the first boss fight of this game. And it's in the forums. A lot of the people in the Game Club forums are like, oh yeah, I remember this game. I'm not going to play it because this part sucks. And I'm like, I don't remember it being that bad.
And this is even after they've fixed it. They released almost a whole new game. Wow.
And I'm like, I'm not even like, I didn't put it on normal. I'm not like, I'll give myself a little bit of challenge. I know better than that. I'm not an idiot. I'm just going to put it on easy and enjoy the story because the story is fantastic. And the way some of the decisions come back to bite you are completely unexpected. Because I made a decision, most of the time I play this game, I've played it, like I said, 3 or 4 times before, up to a certain point, and then just kind of go, oh yeah, I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Is this the point?
No, it's usually right after the second chapter. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll get back into this tomorrow, and then it's 2 years later and I haven't. So I make a certain decision, and it actually completely changes an entirely different quest in Chapter 2.
Neat.
And I was really impressed with it. I was like, wow, okay, that's how decision things should happen in this game. In any game, really. It should just be like, okay, seems like an innocuous decision. It's totally not. And I, despite that boss fight, like, to everyone out there who's playing this game, you know, all 3 of you, we get past that point. Like,
Yeah, just get through it.
Just finish the fight. Just every time something happens in this game where you're like, oh, I don't want that to happen, just finish the fight, because apparently dead people just rise.
Yeah.
Right, Halo 3 this one up, huh?
What?
So after I played it to a certain point, I'm like, all right, I'm a little bit through the main quest in the city. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to go play Fez, and I'm going to relax.
I'm going to go solve some puzzles.
My head's going to explode.
Yeah.
It was just unbelievable how that one little thing could have changed that. I could have gotten through. I could have probably gotten to chapter 3 had that not happened. I probably could have just breezed through the rest of chapter 2. But man, that's all I played this week because I can't take anymore.
But did Fez rub a nice soothing balm over your rage?
It was like, oh look, there's a little golden. All right, I'm gonna get that little guy.
Get those soothing tones when you pick up a cube bit.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Keep playing Fez.
Yes.
All right, I played some more Diablo 3 this week. I'm in this weird spot where I can't seem to get any good loot. You know, one of those sort of loot grind things where it's like, I'm just gonna play adventure mode and do some rifts and fight a couple bosses, and I'm just not getting anything that is nearly good enough. And I hopped in earlier today with the dude that works for me. He had like all this green armor, which is set pieces, and he got all this cool orange stuff. And he's like, I don't know, I just picked up the expansion the other day, and I found it, and it seems okay. And I was just like,
maybe it's time to uninstall and reinstall to reset your counters.
Yeah, exactly. Can I just reset my seed? I don't know I don't know what's going on here. So it's been a little bit frustrating because I'm kind of going through and all this blue stuff is dropping, which I don't need, and all this yellow items are dropping, which are like 5 to 10% worse than the ones I have, and anything that drops that's orange, I was like, yeah, all right, great. It just has stuff that's for other classes on it. I was just like, how does...
Oh, I hate that.
I don't understand why this is happening to me in a world.
You're in a procedural nightmare.
I am. But it's still good, so, you know, I'll keep trying. You know, half an hour here, half an hour there. I spent some more time playing Infamous Second Son.
Oh, nice.
I kind of had to push myself to go back and play it, because I don't know why I kind of wasn't feeling like it. But I said, you know what, I bought this game new, I paid my $60.
Yeah.
I really like the Infamous games. I have to just get back on the horse. And I'm actually really glad I did, because the second power in that game is amazing, and I never want to use the first one again. I don't understand how they made that game look so good. It's a marvel how they managed to squeeze that much power out of the PS4 when it's only been out for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have seen what the second power is. I kind of don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so minor spoilers for Infamous Second Son. The first power is smoke, which is, it's fine. It feels like the electricity from the first two games.
It's a power.
Yeah, it's okay. The second one is neon.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get it, the lead up to getting neon is so cool, because you're just like, oh my god, I want that. Oh, please tell me that's what I'm. Oh, it looks like I'm gonna get. Oh man, this is gonna be so cool. The lead up to it is so cool, and then by the time you get it, I like the thing that I really like that the game does is, at every major story point in the game, it advances time in the world. So when you first start out the game, it's kind of dusky. You know, that it has this sort of sunset time to it.
Yeah.
And by the time, as you progress, you get to, you know, normal kind of midday stuff. And by the time you get neon powers, the first thing it does is it progresses time to the middle of the night. Ooh. So all it is really dark, and all this super cool neon signs everywhere, and neon lights on all these buildings. And it basically encourages you to start wandering around and just kind of playing around with all this stuff. And one of the first things you learn how to do is run vertically up a building by using the neon powers.
Awesome.
And it just look, because his body turns into like this neon swirling blur of like pinks and purples and blues, and it just looks so good. Like, you pull the neon out of these signs, and it sort of swirls around you, and there's so many little like blue and neon colored green and yellow particles that are around you that kind of swirl and then like absorb into you. It's so cool. And it's one of those things where I don't really understand how they made the game look this great, and it doesn't necessarily add anything to the game, but it's one of those games where it's still early enough in the life cycle where it's still kind of a showpiece, where you can be like, oh yeah, look, here's what the PS4 can do. Oh, and it runs at a really great frame rate. And with the patch they just released, they have that camera mode, which is super cool. You click in the left stick, and it freezes the game at any point, and you can manipulate everything about the camera, even like depth of field.
Ooh,
and like,
really?
How the camera is tilted and everything. I mean, it's absolutely
Does
incredible.
it do that weird thing where your character and you kind of pull the reality out?
You can do a little bit of that, yeah. It's really, really, really cool. There's an option to cap the frame rate. So the frame rate in the game, is my understanding, it's between 30 and 60. And that sort of giant swing has always given me a headache. I don't know why, but almost any game that has such a large variability to frame rate, for some reason just messes with something in my head. And they gave you an option to cap the frame rate at 30, and that helped me so much, because now
I'll have to try that.
It's way smoother, more consistently. Sure, it might drop under 30 when you're blowing up everything on the screen. Yeah. But it feels a little bit more solid, which has kind of helped me.
That's good.
And you know, I'm still having fun with this game. I think I'm about halfway through. I was homesick for a couple of days this week, and I just went through, when I was starting to feel a little bit better, I went through and just started clearing out a bunch of the districts. Yeah. And I kind of, the story is okay. I don't think I like it as much as 2. I think 2 so far is kind of the highlight of the series at this point. I think the way they tell Second Son's story is really great. I think Troy Baker as Delsin is fantastic. I think his voice acting really matches incredibly well with their facial animation stuff, which I think is really subtle, but I think it's pretty fantastic. The other character they bring in for the neon stuff, I think, is really good, and I think they very quickly subvert a lot of the tropes that you would expect for that character when they come in. But I don't feel as invested in the characters as I feel like I did with 1 and 2. I don't know why yet. Maybe once I finish the game, I'll sort of feel a little bit better about it, but I kind of respect that it never gets in the way. So the gameplay itself is still really fun, but the storytelling isn't as strong as I think it has been before, but it's kind of never a problem.
That's good.
So it's never like, ugh, here we go, another story. And I think they give you just enough Delsin to not have you get sick of him being so snarky all the time, because everything from him is kind of snarky. It's never really always a one-liner, but it's always sort of flip about everything. And I think Troy Baker,
he's a very flippant individual.
Yeah, and I think Troy Baker kind of dances a really fine line voice acting that character, where I think a lot of voice actors wouldn't have done it very well. And I think his voice for Delsin is easily one of the strongest parts of that game. But the villain, the lady who's the villain, I really like her voice acting. And I think she's such a great villain that you really can't help but really hate it. Without
I love those villains.
Yeah, without them being like yeah, you know, like throwing tied up ladies on a train track. You know, it's this kind of simmering sort of like, I really don't like that bit. Oh, she's the worst.
Yeah.
So I think I did too much of the clearing out the district stuff all at once. So I think I was sort of starting to get a little sick of it. So I think I need to just kind of power through more of the story stuff. I'm way overpowered because I have unlocked everything in that game.
Nice. That's a good feeling, though.
Yeah, it's kind of okay. I kind of wish there's so I think they introduce it when you have smoke. If not, they do as soon as you get neon. There's a karmic special power that you can get. So whenever you get, you do. I'm playing as the good side of the story. Whenever you do like 5 or 6 good karmic things, you can unleash this large screen clearing power. And after you have that, it's basically, let me jump down into all these enemies, hit down on the D-pad, hey, all of them are dead. Alright, great. Nice. So it takes a little bit of the challenge out of it. I had to do a lot to get that, so I don't know if I don't think I feel badly about it, where they just handed you this screen clearing smart bomb, where it's like, yeah, you don't have to do anything, whatever. But you know, some of these battles I think would be a little bit more interesting if I didn't have it, but also if Delsin was a little bit more
Vulnerable?
no, a little less vulnerable. Because the problem with Infamous games that I've always had is you can get maybe one or two dudes shooting you, and you'll be black and white, and it'll just you'll have to go hide. So you really have to focus on getting the higher ground than your enemies, really intelligently taking them out, stunning as many people as you can. You can't really go in there and just sort of keep firing as much as I would kind of like to. Maybe you can on easy, I don't know, but I have it set to normal.
You can't.
You can't go in there and prototype it.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of at some point I kind of want to. You know, there was one part where I was doing since I pre-ordered it or I got it from Amazon, I got the Cole's Legacy stuff, and there was one part where you go to the end of a bridge, and the bridge is out, of course, because it's a bridge in the Infamous games.
Yeah.
And you get ambushed, and there's so many enemies around you, and I had to do it like 5 or 6 times because I couldn't there wasn't enough stuff to hide, and I couldn't get away from all of these enemies, and I was running into an enemy that can kind of lock you in place. So it was just this frustrating thing where it's like I wish I could take a little bit more damage so I could just get through this part that I kind of didn't want to do anyway. And now I'm stuck in this sequence until I finish it. So that's always kind of been my problem with the Infamous games, is I wish you could take a little bit more damage before the game is just kind of murders you out of the gate.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's really good. I think if you want to play a game on PS4 that looks really great, this is kind of the game to pick up.
I kind of hear it's the showpiece.
It really is. And I think if, you know, like the Hannah said, if you haven't played Infamous 1 or 2, don't worry. You don't have to. I think really that's why they really focused on not calling it Infamous 3. Is because, yeah, they reference a lot of the stuff in the first game, or the first 2 games, but you don't have to care. You know, it's great for people that have, because it's a lot of backstory between what happened at the end of Infamous 2 and then what happened at the beginning of Second Son, which is kind of interesting, but it's maybe a little bit more convoluted than I think they even wanted to get to. I get the impression that through a lot of the storytelling stuff, they're kind of hitting the reset button, where it's like, okay, things got really nuts. This whole story kind of got away from us. Let's start back over. Let's maybe say that everybody died, and let's try this one again, which I kind of appreciate before it got Metal Gear, you know.
Yeah, Metal Gear.
Yeah. So hopefully I'm gonna finish that up pretty soon. I kind of just want to get done with that, and they have announced that the paper trail stuff will not result in you getting a paper power, so I will not be doing that. Sorry. That's not as exciting.
Like you say paper power, I'm thinking of the paper from Read or Die.
The paper.
The paper!
But the person who you're chasing in the paper trail stuff, so the paper trail stuff is really cool. You get a mission in the game that you find somebody has been killed by someone who has the power to manipulate paper, and you chase the person through a section of the world, and it's really, really creepy because they know your name and they're whispering in your ear, and it's this really long paper trail behind them, and they have this mask that they've built over top of them that looks like the rabbit masks from BioShock 1.
Ooh.
And it's really a little unsettling, but in kind of the best way. And then what you're supposed to do is you register on their website for Paper Trail. You do this in the game, and then it reports this stuff into that website. So you go back there, and then you take, supposedly, I haven't been able to upload it, supposedly you take the wallet from the guy that you picked up as part of Paper Trail, and then you pull it apart on the website, and you start taking his stuff and trying to hack into his bank accounts and his history and his records to try and get why someone would have killed him, and then you feed that back into the game and you do another mission, and it's this kind of back and forth AR kind of thing. It would have been really cool if you would have gotten the paper power, because it seems really fantastic in the game, but if it's not going to, then I don't think I'm going to go for 6 missions of this back and forth. I don't think it's rewarding enough. They're saying like, yeah, you'll get like 2 new costumes and a bunch of other stuff, but I don't really care. I have so many different jackets in this game, and a lot of them really don't. They're cool because the whole game is so the main character does a lot of spray painting, and it looks a lot like Banksy in his stuff, which is really cool. And I think they play with it really well with the villains in the game. And a lot of the jackets look like that, but I don't really care. Not like in a malicious way. I just don't. It doesn't really do anything for me. It's a good idea because it changes how the back of your character looks, and I feel like a lot of games only change the front of your character, and it's like, well, great, now I'm not going to see that because this is a third-person game. So I think that's kind of neat, but it seems like a thing that doesn't really have any draw for me. So, but yeah, I'm hoping to finish it soon because it's a good game. It's not great and it's not terrible, but it's one of those middle ground kind of good games that I never finish, because something that's great comes out. I'm like, well, I can't play this game. I got to go play this other thing. So
that's old hat.
Yeah, that thing's okay.
It's clown shoes.
Yeah, because the other thing that came out on PC this last week was Dark Souls 2. And I'm really trying not to start that until I finish Second Son. Because I have 2 games that I've paid full price for, and I really need to be better about finishing games that I have paid money for, which is all of them.
Yeah.
So I should probably do more of that. But I didn't get any chance to play that this week. But I did play 2 new mobile games on my iPad.
Ooh, nice.
There are 2 games that were talked about pretty heavily this week. The first one was Pac-Man Beasts, I think it is. Let me pull up the name. It's so weird. It seems like they're trying to capitalize on the success of Puzzle and Dragons. But in a way that reminds me that Pac-Man Monsters. That reminds me I really don't like how most mobile games design themselves. There's so much tutorial in this game right off at the front, and it's basically you're playing as it's a Pac-Man turn-based RPG that is relying on you matching certain colors, which is basically how they explain it in the game, is Pac-Man eating the bottom of the screen and sort of dragging Pac-Man through essentially what is a Pac-Man maze. And the more power pellets you eat, the stronger your RPG attacks are on the top screen. Which,
weird.
At that point, I would have played that game. But then there's 2 or 3 different types of currency that you then need to use to capture enemies, to capture monsters, to raise them and level them and put them in your party, and do all this other stuff. And at that point, I was just like, you know what, I can't do this. There's too much stuff in this mobile game. This could have probably been a really cool game for me if it would have come out on the PC, it would have come out on, PSN or something, where I could kind of sit down with it and kind of ingest the tutorial more fully. But they kept doing this thing where it's like, great, you won your first battle, let's figure out how to summon monsters. And I was just like, more stuff? Like, why are... No, like, let's raise your monster levels. And I was like, I can't do this. And then it's like 3 or 4 more things that they did. And I was like, look, the experience that I'm looking for with a mobile game is something that I can pop in, and it's easy enough that it can kind of explain itself, or it's
Yeah.
building on. You want to make that game and make it a match 3? Great, I'll play it. I played 1 million. I loved that game. But I felt like it was just, or I felt like it's kind of assuming that I've already played Puzzle and Dragons, which I haven't. I'm like the one person on the face of this planet that hasn't played the largest mobile game since Angry Birds. Yeah, I know none of the 3 of us have played it. But, you know, I don't... That's not the experience of a mobile game that I'm looking for. I want a game where I can go in and play 5 to 15 minutes max, and then I can leave. Because I'm probably laying in bed, I want something to do, I'm waiting in a line somewhere, you know, something dumb.
Something quick.
But when you start giving me so many systems and so much stuff and 3 types of currency, and it just turns me off completely. I can't even fit all of that in my brain.
I'm overwhelmed by the screenshots of this game.
It's really bad. And I mean, I think the reason I got into it was because this was the design result. Remember when Namco Bandai came out and they said, "Hey, let's figure out what Pac-Man's going to look like in the next Pac-Man game." And they had like standard Pac-Man, and the 4th one was just bananas, and it looked like a Salvador Dali painting.
Yeah.
Well, that one won, and this was the game they made. And the design of everything looks super cool because it's this really severe, angular, really weird art style.
It is
basically Puzzles and Dragons. But the game that resulted from it is something that I'm just not really gonna play. And it's so much, and it's so confusing. It's just really too much. But on the other side of the coin, Hitman Go came out. And before I start talking about it, everyone should go buy Hitman Go.
Okay.
It is a game that has no text in it, no story, no tutorial, actually. It is a game that teaches you how to play it throughout about the first 5 or so levels. And it looks like a board game. So essentially what it is it's a puzzle board game. And you have all of these little, you know, round-based characters that don't move, and they look like they're kind of made out of plastic. And it almost looks like it's almost to the point where it looks kind of like that well put together aesthetic that the latest SimCity game had, where it's very clean, everything is kind of rounded and good looking. And it's essentially when you move, the enemies move puzzle game. And it's the Agent 47 or whatever his number is starts here, and then you have to get to this other point, and you can kill the enemies in your way, but you have to maneuver your way to a point where you can kill them basically from behind or from a viewpoint that they're not going to see. It's only $5. Right now there's the first level, there's like 6 level sets. The first level has 15 individual levels in it. And each one of them has 3 challenges in them. So it's stuff like finish the level, of course, collect the briefcase and finish the level, don't kill any enemies, finish it in X moves or less, stuff like that. So it's, you know, there was one where it took me a while to figure out. I finished it in 5 moves or less, and I got the thing for it. There's something about it in its simplicity that is the antithesis to Pac-Man Monsters, because the only text in the game is your challenges, and the game is expecting you to learn as you play, and it rewards you for kind of poking at the game a little bit in kind of the best way that games do, where they'll dump you into the first couple levels and there will be enemies in the level and you just have to figure it out. And there's no punishment for dying. There's maybe a half of a second load time, and then it dumps you back in the level. And it's available on iPad, iPhone. I think it's coming out for Android soon if it isn't already.
Sweet.
I don't like the Hitman games. They've never really clicked with me, but
Yeah.
this is the kind of cool idea that I can get behind with... This is the kind of mobile game I'd like to see for you know, proper console and PC franchises. We're sort of...
Yeah.
We're going to take something crazy and we're going to make kind of a weird digital board game where your character sneaks around this predetermined board. But it still kind of feels like Hitman. You know, every couple of levels, you have to go sneak through a level, collect a briefcase, and assassinate a dude. You know, that still feels like Hitman, but it's a very mobile-friendly game where each level, one try could only take 15-20 seconds because you may screw it up or you may find the right path. So I can go in there and I can lay on the couch while we're watching TV, play for 10-15 minutes, get a little bit stuck, and then come back to it later.
Yeah.
So Binary Viking in chat says doesn't look like it's out on Android just yet. So I think they're coming out with it soon. I remember seeing something where it'll be out in the next couple weeks, but I can't recommend it enough. That's the sort of mobile game that I think really succeeds. And for it being only $5, it seems like it has some microtransactions in there. It's like $1 if you want to unlock other level packs early, or you can just keep playing the old levels to kind of get enough of those objectives done to unlock the next ones. So, you know, it's only $5. Looks great, smooth. There's no hitching. I've got an iPad Mini and it runs great. So
Nice.
Really super surprised. And the Giant Bomb quick look kind of sold me on it because it's a pretty cool game. And I'm really surprised. Good on Square Enix. Two thumbs up for you guys. But that's all I've been playing. So let's take a break.
Sounds good.
All
right.
This is okay. Hey guys, what's going on?
He looks content.
I'm a dog.
I will be right back. I'm gonna grab a drink.
He's so fucking weird.
I just want attention. For those of you that are watching this live stream later and can't click on the link that the Hannah just sent, he sent this. Enjoy your day.
Oh, that's missed the armrest.
Did I share show notes with you? Oh yeah, you guys look like you're already in there.
What link did he send?
It's in the Twitch chat. I'll send it to you on Skype.
Yeah, I haven't pulled it up. I don't want to break the internet. Hey.
Hey guys. Can I be on your show? I just want to get up in there.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
Hello
so
there.
much earth everywhere.
Oh man. All right. Let's see. Do I have all the stuff I need? Yes, I do. Okay.
All right, let's try.
Show
and
notes is up.
bang out the rest of this show.
Yep.
We gotta start packing pretty seriously
Oh.
today.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, did it go good?
We are hopefully closing on Tuesday.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Being the operative word there.
Yeah, we sent the rest of our down payment in, so
Okay.
we are now forever poor.
Yeah,
Well,
I know
at
that
least for the
feeling.
next 30.
Yay, mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah, until 2044.
Yeah.
Which
That's
we were-
that's a year.
We were
Yeah.
laughing/crying that they wrote that. There was one document where it's every monthly payment for the entirety of your 30-year loan.
Where it gives you
Yeah.
like a packet like that thick.
Yeah,
You're like,
that was. We were laughing that is a number that humans think exist.
Well, it's funny because you get a document like that when the notary comes over to sign everything.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Satan's contract just lands in your lap.
It really.
And you're like,
I mean, she pulled it out, and it was humorously large.
Yeah.
well, it's like that scene from Bedazzled where you're categorized by a 4-inch thick binder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's gonna be weird.
Indeed.
All right. I'm ready whenever you gents are.
Let me unlock my
Good to go.
screens. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week of April 28th, 2014. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 comes out for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, another movie tie-in game, great. I really
I'm
hope
hoping
they don't
this one's good.
shark with the movie.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like it's going to be a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Can't win all of them.
I don't know. Been on a pretty good run.
Yeah.
Daylight comes out for PC and PS4.
I didn't know what this was until
I don't know what this is.
I looked it up the other day, and this is I think Atlas is putting it out. It's a procedurally generated horror game.
Ooh.
Yes.
Which I think kind of sounds interesting. I think that would be more scary, not knowing, because one of the things about horror games is you're going, oh, I know where everything's going to jump out. This is going to be okay. Every time you go in, it's completely different. I think that sounds kind of cool.
That's
Yeah,
that's the sort of idea. Yeah, that's the sort of idea where you go, wait, why didn't we think of this before?
Yeah, and I some horror fans. Yeah, Atlas is putting it out. Some horror fans I have heard are saying like, well, I don't think that's gonna work because random blah. But I think that sounds kind of cool.
Sounds kind of better.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're trying something different other than now you have a video camera. Scary.
Oh, follow the script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raiden 4 Overkill for PlayStation Network and PS3.
That's a Raiden game.
That's a Raiden game.
Shmup. Children of Light for the PC, PS4, PS3, 360, XBO, and Wii U.
I cannot be more excited about this game.
Yeah, it looks really, really cool.
The thing
I wish if that came out on Vita, I think I would buy it day one.
That's sort of how I feel about everything.
Yeah,
now.
I'm surprised. I wonder if that's coming later. But for people that don't know about this, Child of Light is Ubisoft is basically making a JRPG with the graphic engine that powered the last two Rayman games. So it's beautiful.
Yeah, I was pulling up screenshots earlier, and I'm like, wow, this looks really, really
gorgeous.
cool.
I really hope, and I just really hope it plays well, because the cool thing about that Ubi art engine that they're using is the reason why they created it is because the artists couldn't engineer their own art, so they were just making this art and then passing it off to someone else who's putting it into the game. The Ubi art engine allows them to put their art directly into the game engine. So
that's fantastic.
We end up with games that just look ridiculously crazy good.
Yeah. These backgrounds
How
look
they
like
intended
watercolors.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about that game is a lot of it look like watercolors. You need more of that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mario Golf World Tour for the thirds.
I really want to pick this up. I never played a Mario Golf game, and I think I would enjoy that. This is also of note the first Nintendo game with a season pass.
Yeah.
They're releasing like 70 something holes through the season pass. It's like $6 a pack for 4 packs, or the season pass is like $15. You get all of it.
Nice.
So it seems like a good use of the season pass. You get all that stuff for cheap.
Yeah. Look at Nintendo getting all modern.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah.
Kirby Triple Deluxe for the thirds rounds out the releases.
This is another one that I'm kind of curious about. Everybody that I've seen talking about this game seems to say it's one of the best on the 3DS, and it's easily one of the best Kirby games. So I kind of want to keep an eye on this one, because if it's one of the best Kirby games, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you played Kirby 64?
No. No.
it's
and nothing came out in 2004.
All right, move on to news stories. Urban Legend update. Microsoft has unearthed the New Mexico ET landfill, and drumroll please, it actually contained copies of 2,600 games.
Wow.
They found a ton of copies of ET, naturally, but also a bunch of copies of like Centipede, Missile Command, a bunch of games from that era.
Nice.
The guy was there by the name of James Heller, a former Atari manager. That was the guy that was tasked with getting rid of 728,000 cartridges from their El Paso warehouse. It was 14 truckloads of games and other merchandise. That's where it went. If anybody's interested in this, go look at the pictures they posted on Twitter. There's a ton of copies of E.T. There's shipping boxes full of boxes of E.T. There's merchandise that they're pulling out. Super, super cool stuff. Microsoft's shooting a documentary that includes the dig about the changing landscape of the industry that's supposed to come out early next year. So they'll have kind of a bunch of professionally shot stuff about that. But that's super cool. That's one thing that you kind of thought no one would ever go dig. And it actually contained things that aren't human remains.
That would be funny if they had like a little mock ET skeleton in there.
Yeah, that's it.
They just dig up ET.
I could only imagine that this dude's like 76 copies? 1,000?
Yeah, 728,000 copies.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Almost 1 million cartridges. 750,000 of a million.
So that poor guy's like, oh, I don't know, let's go dig a hole in a desert.
Yep, I mean, when you're in the desert, what else are you supposed to put it?
I wonder if they found anything digging that hole. Would have been funny too.
I would. The only thing I thought would be funnier is if it was just cases of Crystal Pepsi.
Oh,
that almost would have been better.
The secret Crystal Pepsi caves.
Oh man, it's still good.
Yeah, it's
still fizzy.
Yeah.
It's not flat. It lives up to its reputation.
Yeah. Pretendo in chat says maybe this will raise ET's value. I think
it'd make it worse, wouldn't it?
I would pay for a copy of. I would pay a couple more bucks for a copy of ET that came out of that landfill. I would put that in my collection.
In a sealed case.
Yeah, because I don't want all that desert dust in my house. I live in the desert anyway.
Desert funk and scorpion spooge.
Ugh. Scorpions. The worst. Don't write that down, Hannah. Even though it had alliteration. I'm so glad so many new people are watching this stream. Just enjoy the worst show on the internet.
Yay.
Couldn't have it any other way.
Indeed.
All right, moving on to the next news story. The country of Denmark releases a 1-to-1 scale copy of their entire nation in Minecraft.
What?
This was an official release from the country of Denmark. They just released their country. They got a whole bunch of demographic info as part of their normal stuff that by the Danish Geodata Agency. They gather all this info anyway, and they said, "Hey, why don't we get some people to put it in Minecraft?" It spans 3 servers, 4 billion blocks, and it's 1 terabyte of Minecraft data.
That's insane.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
It's crazy.
So they like Denmark, Google your move.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? So I think that's kind of cool because more and more companies are using Minecraft to do official, interesting things.
Yeah.
I never would have thought that would have even been a thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is certainly not the show to come to about Minecraft stuff because we just don't pay attention to it at all. But I think it's kind of neat that somebody large has done something official that's kind of cool about it.
Yeah.
So
the phrase "state-run Minecraft server" sort of has a nice ring to it, though.
yeah, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, join the official Denmark Minecraft server. Weird. And in the last news story, GameStop to close 120 stores because of games, actually. GameStop released their financial earnings, and they're going to be focusing on their GameStop 3.0 initiative in this upcoming fiscal year. What that means is that they're going to start closing GameStop stores and start opening other stores for their other business ventures, which are Spring Mobile, Simply Mac, and Cricket. They're going to double the amount of stores for all of those businesses and close stores for GameStop. 120 sounds like a lot until I looked it up. That is less than 2% of its total store count. They have 6,600 stores in the U.S.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of stores.
Even though they are clearly frustrated with the rapid adoption of digital downloads for the 8th gen consoles and of course Steam, I think as a company that's a pretty smart move to say, all right, we're gonna start getting out of this because we're not gonna be bets. It's not gonna be us anymore for a while.
Yeah.
Binary Viking in chat says because we totally need more mobile phone dealers. You bring up a good point,
right?
Come on, Net 10.
Yeah, there may be an element of out of the frying pan into the fire, but that's okay.
They're gonna do what they want anyway.
Yeah,
they don't want to become. They probably are learning a lesson of the Blockbuster. Like they didn't see the writing on the wall, and they went down in flames.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you also have to remember that GameStop's corporate, the people who run it on a corporate level, it's like one of their smaller investments.
Yes.
You're talking like these are Texas oil barons that run GameStop.
Yep. It's people. It's people that have enough money to capitalize on something that's hip.
Yeah. So
we're the hedge fund. Great.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Had to happen someday, I guess.
Yeah, I mean if anything, it's a little bit of validation that hey, there's money in it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Until they say there's no more money in it.
Yeah, so they say there's no more money in it, and then we're like, how do I find a copy of this?
Yeah.
Great. Now eBay's gonna explode again.
Yeah.
And that's when I open a mom and pop video game store. When I retire.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm open for a local Ohio branch.
There you go.
I'll hit you up.
All right, let's move on to tweets here. First one from AdderBlack39 wrote in about 2 weeks ago, but I didn't see it because it came right to my account. Hi guys, your house is on fire. You can only save one gaming console, including handhelds. Which one do you guys say?
I burned to death trying to decide between the Vita and the PS4.
I don't know why Knobs is laughing so hard over there.
You don't know why?
No.
You don't remember the tornado at Walsh?
Oh, crap. Alright, so let's spin a tale here. There may have been a tornado that touched down in one of the nearby counties to the college that we were both attending. We were told to the gymnasium, as per policies. Knobs shows up with his Dreamcast under his arm, the last one in the door, because he couldn't bear to live life without his Dreamcast. Almost swept away on a tornado that had touched down.
Touchdown! I was running from the dorm to the shelter, getting pelted by hail and branches.
Yep.
I walk in, like breathing heavy, and I have this, like, my Dreamcast, like, cradled in my arms, and everyone's
like a swaddling baby.
Dude,
that is brand loyalty.
Yes, if anyone that almost got killed for his Sega fanaticism. So,
if my loyalty is ever questioned, I have that story to fall back on.
So, Adder Black, I think our answer is the Dreamcast. I don't know. I don't know if you can beat that.
I still stick by the fact that I would just burn to death trying to decide between the Vita and the PS4.
Probably. I think I would probably pick up my DS Lite, the one that has Chrono Trigger in the DS slot and Final Fantasy V in the Game Boy Advance slot. Those two cartridges have not left that console in, I think, 4 years.
Wow.
So I think I've kind of got a lot of gaming between the two of them.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't believe I forgot about that stupid story. Jesus.
That's phenomenal.
The only thing, I mean, the thing that seemed the funniest part about it is it's really true that actually happened.
Yeah.
And I think, when I ran into to our one of our other mutual friends, they still remember that.
It was kind of
that I did that.
Oh man!
Did you hear what that? I think that was like my first year at Walsh when that happened. We were all just getting to know each other.
Yep.
I saved my only friend.
We knew you really well after that.
Yeah.
All right. Matt W. writes in. He says, this is from Millennial Buddha. Hi, Knobs.
What's up?
Bizarro Hell Games. Choose one game and change one thing to take it from good to perfect. I will take Asura's Wrath and turn it into a movie. I will remove I will remove the gameplay. And that sounds kind of mean, but I think that's kind of that story is really good and the gameplay is kind of okay-ish.
I would do the same to Metal Gear Solid series. I don't want to play it, I just want to watch it.
You just want to experience it.
I just want to see the madness that I don't have to participate in.
Yeah.
Because that's the only barrier of entry that I have, is I do not have fun playing that game.
You know, actually I've got another one. I will take the most recent SimCity and quadruple the city sizes.
Ooh, there you go.
Because everything else is fine-ish. It's not a bad game, mostly. But that's kind of its largest issue.
So I'm gonna reach into the depths for this one.
All right, let's
do you guys remember an Xbox game called Drake of the 99 Dragons?
A little bit.
That game had a demo that was a ton of fun, and the game itself was phenomenally broken.
Okay.
Like, it just broken in every aspect. Like, they just kicked it out the door without even doing like basic user vomiting.
Yeah, where it boots, so it should pass.
Yeah. It
Gold seal.
it looked really good. It had sort of an interesting thing going for it. I would just sort of unbreak it
Yeah, just
because
kind of
it could have been
QA
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just look that game up and just so dumb.
What was that game called?
Drake of the 99 Dragons.
Drake of the 99 Dragons.
Yeah.
That's a good name for a band. You should write that down.
That's true.
Yeah.
On eBay, complete in box. Buy it now with free shipping. $3.
Is that sealed? Is that sealed?
No.
Oh, that's
Regrettably.
unfortunate.
The sealed
That
one
should-
appears to be... Oh, I don't think they had any. Oh, nope,
It
$10.
has-
Here we go, factory
it has
sealed.
a Metascore of 22.
I remember
it has
this.
a
I remember this cover. People should go
Yes.
look it up. I remember that cover.
It's a cool art style. It looks like Batman the Animated Series.
It does, yeah.
And I was super excited for it, and I was really mad when it was terrible.
Man, what a game.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to news stories here. First one is from Rob, aka Poke Chop Salad. Good day to you, noble sirs and knobs. Joking,
What's
of course, knobs, you are a dapper gent. The new Mario game for the 3DS has announced DLC, new characters and more courses, as one might expect from a golf game. My gripe with it is that they just threw all the information on it out there and said, $15 for the season pass, please. I think I would have rather had the Borderlands style steady rollout, but you got teased about it a few months prior to release. I'm of the mind that when you buy a season pass because you love the game and will play the DLC when it comes out, but not knowing what is coming out is the fun part. What do you think is the proper DLC model? They announce everything and you get to get it when you get it, like Mario Golf, or the season pass is kept under wraps and hinting at what it might be until it's closer to being released, like Borderlands 2. I actually kind of maybe somewhere in between. You know, I actually don't mind that Nintendo announced, hey, here's all the stuff we're coming out, because I feel like they could have said, like, hey, it's $15 and you'll get some stuff later. And it's sort of like, well, but what and when? Like, what's going to happen? And they kind of laid it all out on the table. I bought the season pass for Borderlands 1 and 2 because I enjoyed playing that game, and I trusted them enough after all that content to put out more good content.
Yeah.
But I feel like with some games, at least let me know, all right, 3 weeks after release, we're going to put out a map pack. A month later, we're going to put out some more characters. A month after that, we're going to put out more stuff. And at least let me know how much stuff I'm going to get, as opposed to, yeah, we're going to give, like, I don't know, a map pack or something, you know.
Yeah, or stuff.
Yeah,
stuff's coming.
Stuff's coming.
Yeah, because these season passes aren't cheap. You know, $15 for a season pass for a 3DS game, that's almost half of that game's cost. That game's $40.
Yeah.
So at that point, you're paying the price for a full price game on a traditional console. So I feel like they did right by coming out and saying, like, here's how many holes, here's how many courses, this many characters. I don't know if they did a schedule, but I felt like I feel like that's okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a problem without having the mystery, but I do like knowing how many packs, or exactly what you bought for your season pass.
Yeah.
That it's not just open-ended thing they can just say, yeah, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Like with Battlefield, like I know I've got all that extra content and all 5 of the expansions that come out for it. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Versus like if not knowing, it's like, well, yeah, stuff is on its way. Maybe some tags and a couple accessories and whatnot. Like, yeah, no, that's not worth it.
Well, you don't get BioShock Infinite, because when they came out and they said season pass, and I bought it day one because I'm like, well, this game is great and they make great games, so I want more narrative stuff. And then the first thing they come out with is an arena battler, and it's sort of like, this is not what I want
a punch
at all. And then Burial at Sea comes out in 2 parts, like a year, not a year, more than 6 months after that game comes out. And it's sort of like, well, Do I want to go back to play it again? Do I remember how to play BioShock at this point? You know?
Yeah, I think that's more of a punch in the face than anything else.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you roll the dice, they're still working out the kinks on it, even though it doesn't seem like it should be that difficult.
Yeah, there's no, like, acceptable standard where they come out and say, this game will include a season pass, so there's an icon on the back of the box. You know, and here's how many, and it has a 3 in it, which means you get 3 map packs. You know, there's no standardization yet.
We can only hope that they're at that point where they're always just trying to one-up people. Well, we get this much downloadable content more than this guy, until they get to the point it's like, wait, we can monetize all of this.
And then unfortunately you get Forza 5, which you pay for a season pass that's more than the game to get cars that you have to earn in-game credits to purchase in-game. So you don't even get anything in your garage. Thankfully, they recently fixed that, so I've been thinking about going back and trying it out. But that to me is kind of the furthest, worst example where it's like, the season pass, if I remember correctly, was $90. And they were going to give you those car packs, which are pretty cool. You get a lot of cars like every month. Usually it's like 6 to 9 cars. But you don't get those cars. You have to earn the credits to purchase them in the game. So it's it's like one more level of a middle finger where it's like, whatever, keep playing our game.
Yeah, that's like
a
obscene gesture coming.
Yeah.
Like it's I mean, it's like, okay, so I gave you real money for the ability to buy something with in-game money. That's not the way this works.
$150 for the privilege.
Like at that point, you're not buying a season pass. You're buying a collector's edition upgrade.
Right.
Well, it's like the same thing with
was not included in the collector's edition either, by the way.
Oh, well, that's just a kick in the pants.
Yeah, that's just a
punch you in the jeans.
Yeah.
No, but it's a lot of the same things with the 108K download that we have a problem with. It's like, all right, we're paying for DLC that I already purchased.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
it's an unlock
like
key.
I bought all that stuff on the disc already.
Yeah.
Why don't I have access to it?
Yeah. I feel like it's one of the things where they're still figuring it out. You know, as they were trying to figure out pricing for downloadable games for a while, and apparently have settled on $15. You know, it's the same thing with season passes, where it's like, okay, we have this much content. Is it $15? Is it $30? Is it $4? Like, how much? When do we put it out? Like, how much do we? Are people pissed that we put out a season pass day one, or are we going to get the people that are jazzed about our game day one? They're like, yeah, I gotta go buy the season pass. Yeah, awesome. You know, like, how do you pull the season pass down after a while because you want to get the money for all the DLC, or like, you know, how do you? Now we have a Game of the Year edition. You know, how do you? There's a lot of stuff to think about here, and
Well, you gotta think. I mean, if they had dropped the price of season pass for Battlefield 4, I probably would have bought it anyway. But they got me for the full price because I've been playing that game to the point where I need to get more, and I hope that's the model they're trying to shoot for. But I mean, that's best for all parties involved. That you're still buying, like, say I got that game used for like $40, which I didn't.
Yeah.
But you're making up some difference, and it's got to be all profit, really.
Well, and I think in your case too, you start talking about rewarding a company for making a great game, and you want to get to this next tier of product because, to me, it's like purchasing the Borderlands 2 season pass day one. I know you guys are going to put out more great stuff. Here's $30 more on top of this $60 thing because I have the faith in you. And for Battlefield 4, you're like, I'm just having so much fun. You're telling me for more money I can get more content for the stuff that I love? Oh, okay, that's an easy sell. Great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, companies are doing it right and companies are doing it wrong. And I feel like as time goes on, more companies are doing it correctly than companies are doing it incorrectly. So, I feel like we're getting to the point where at some point we would have some sort of standard.
Yeah,
so
you'd hope.
I mean, I hope. He also writes, P.S. I was catching up on some episodes and I wanted to throw this in. He says, superpower I want is the prototype powers. I don't.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And best glitch ever I got halfway through Mass Effect 3. My shepherd's eyelids went missing, so I played the game with bulging eyeballs, and it made the romance stuff very creepy and funny.
My brand!
I have special eyes.
This special like, hey, I don't close my eyes when I make out because I think you're gonna stab me.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a good one.
Intense.
Yeah. All right, next email is from Dave, aka RoboPig. Hey, Boston Knobs and the Hannah. Have there been any exclusive titles that were so good that you wish they were available on both consoles? I've said that for a long time about the Gears. The Gears and the Infamous franchise. Yeah. I feel like those are two franchises that would have really benefited from more people getting the opportunity to play them, because I think they were both outstanding.
Yeah. I've always felt Heavy Rain should have come out multi-platform, because the game's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And Shadow of the Colossus as well.
Yeah.
Because it's just that those are like almost, in my book, like required reading.
I wish Mag would have came out for everything.
Yeah. It would have had an audience on 360, man.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think if it would have come out to 360, I think it could have been one of those hidden gem games like Chrome Hounds was originally, where you know, everybody's like, hey man, you got to play this game. Like it's $20 in the bargain bin, but there's still kind of there's still a community going around this, and they haven't shut down the servers yet, so get in while the getting's good.
Yeah.
It's still sad how they left Zipper to twist on the wind for that. But then again, that's another representation of how DLC can fragment a community.
Yeah, that's true.
Because at some point, that stuff's got to go up for free. Like it's
just toss it out there. And also, with Knobs loving BF4 lately, is he playing on PS4?
No.
Knobs does not possess a PS4, regrettably.
Yeah.
If so, maybe we could set up a night for some TVGP BF4? Sure. Someone could get that?
That's every night. Every night's a BF night.
Yeah. And I think someone's trying to get a Titanfall night going in the forums, too. I don't know who was trying to do that, but, you know, she could get that set up.
Yeah.
Well, once the private lobbies come out of beta, I think that's definitely doable.
Oh, yeah.
Because the general public is wicked good at that game.
Wicked good. And that's all the emails and tweets we have this week. Thank you very much for everyone for writing in. If you want to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Email us at tvgpfans@gmail.com. I'm going to be out of town some weekend in the middle of next month, so we might be doing a reader email episode, so get some emails in for that, please. And you can tweet us at TVGP, and everything else is on the right-hand side of the page.
And don't forget to join the forums. Mark yourselves on the map. Join us for Monday Night Game Night. That is 10 p.m. EST. This week will be Gears of War 3. So, chainsaws up.
It hurts me.
And then join us for Thursday Night Game Night, Steam Game Night. Join the group. I think there's calendar reminders, yada, yada, yada. A lot of fun. See you guys there.
Yep.
Yeah. So the current TVGP Game Club game is The Witcher, and I hate it a little bit right now, but I'm getting over it.
Just got to get through it, man.
I love it like a Colombian necktie.
Also, I want to put it out there that myself and Nintendork are going to be doing sort of a Game Club wrap-up show after the end date, which I believe I set at either the 1st of June or like somewhere in there. It's on the forums. It's in the Game Club number 18 thread. We're going to try and do it as a call-in show. So we're going to go live, and if you want to talk about the current Game Club game with us, we'll bring you in on Skype, and we'll chat about it, and we'll say what we liked, and talk about that first boss fight that I really didn't like. But we're going to do a test run coming up in the next few weeks here. I'm going to put a thread in the forum once we get a solid date down. But we'll hopefully have some of the community members available to help us sort of test it out.
Yep. super cool.
Yeah.
And don't forget, you can watch us live every week, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. And don't forget to check out the brand new 24/7 E1M1 live. What are you doing, Cat? That's not what it's called. But mixler.com/E1M1FM. I haven't put a thread to that, or I haven't put a post on that on the very front page yet, but I will eventually. But check that out, 24/7 music, RPGs, TVGP. You never know what you're gonna get. Let me know if anyone has problems because we're still testing it. And that's all we got. So we'll see you all next week.
Laters.
Peace.
You just want to be on camera, don't you, Sam? Oh yeah.
Easy going.
Soon.
All right. I don't. No, I do have a title. Bite the keyboard.
Yeah. All right. I'm a fan.
Oh, yeah.
P-Flux had that one as well. All right.
I think P-Flux had bite the keyboard, comma, get diseases.
Yeah. All right. Let's go through. I got Judo Chopping Knobs. I Think I'm Being Sneaky. Walking Death. Chirps and Beeps and Boops.
What was that?
I think it was, we were talking about Fez, and that just happened. I Can't Even Spoil. Continuously Spawn into Death, which is actually my death metal band's name. Amateur Helicopter Fighters. Knobs Gets Old. 5 to 10% Worse. Procedural Nightmare. Neon Swirling Blur. Just Enough Delson. Screen Clearing Smart Bomb. It Got Metal Gear.
Really did.
14 Truckloads of Games. Secret Crystal Pepsi Caves. Desert Funk. We're the Hedge Fund, and we can monetize everything.
I really like Chirps and Bleeps and Chirps and Beeps and Boops.
Chirps and Beeps and Boops. Yeah.
I really like. I'm gonna circle that one.
I'm a fan of Amateur Helicopter Fighters, but how many titles have we had that associate with helicopters?
Yeah, I just really too many helicopters. All right.
I really thought something else was going to be in there, but all right.
Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 340 for April 28th, 2014. Chirps and Beeps and Boops.
Drop the bass.
Leave the message after the beep.
I like how that title is just video games. I don't know, it's just Chirps and Beeps and Boops. Oh, whatever. You know, whatever.
Oh,
Kids
that's
and your Nintendo.
That's how I describe techno music.
Yeah.
There's beeps and bloops.
Get off your Nintendo in there.
Whoops.
All right, thank you very much, everyone, for watching the live stream. We'll see you all next week. Go test out E1M1 FM. Let me know how it
Indeed.
works. There's a thread in the forums. Bye.